Can you tell us about a time you worked with a difficult customer? So I'm always going to say, how much time have you got? Because that's life. I mean, I'm working at Centrelink in the call center, and I work in a place where there's complaints every day. That having been said, in 18 months working there, I have not received a single complaint. And I take a high volume of calls. I'm on calls from 8 o'clock in the morning to sometimes 5 in the afternoon, and with only scheduled breaks. So you're dealing with a lot of calls and complex people and cases. I think when it comes to dealing with difficult people, I always start with thinking about where they're at, the who, what, where, when, and why, and my experience with everyone in life. For this work, 9 times out of 10, they're not calling because things are going well. So thanks to my Lifeline training, I'm really good at de-escalating customers. Last week, for example, I had a gentleman call, and he was really frustrated because his family's rate had dropped to basically 0. He didn't understand why, and there was very little communication as to why he'd been bounced back and forth between the child support agency and Centrelink for months, trying to figure out what's happening. So that's what I was determined to do in the call. So first of all, de-escalate, and then build rapport, and making sure that he knows I can comprehend his circumstances. Hours on hold doesn't soothe you when you're dealing with Centrelink either. And also, he might be more helpful to me for information if he's calm. Then to get the information, reframe, rephrase, and make sure that we're both on the same page. And you're basically doing all your active listening stuff and really hearing him out. Not being empathetic and not necessarily just bending over backwards. And while he's telling me his story, I'm multitasking, looking up notes for latest updates and to find the holes in the story that might be missing. It's important for a customer in his circumstances to feel like he has some sort of control. So I asked if I could pop him on hold so I didn't give him the wrong information. I deemed that not everyone was on the same page, so I had a 3-way call within and the child support agency, and I had so that I had their information and their side of things, as well as my own and his. This is good because I can be the Rosetta Stone between the agency and the customer if things are being misinterpreted. But basically, child support said that he just had to wait for the outcome, but we knew we were all on the same page at least, so he would have to wait, but at least the information was consistent. So I took a moment and I really didn't know actually how to help him. So then I escalated that to my local peer support, which, is really helpful because I have 25 years of customer service experience, but I don't have that within Centrelink. So as soon as I talked to my local peer support leader, they were like, yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure this is what's happening. All you can do is tell the customer to follow up with child support because they're the only ones that will be able to make the decision. So that was it. I had to pivot from fixing these circumstances on the phone to offering resources so that at least he got something out of the call. I have a financial and mental health support background, so this is something that I'm pretty adept at. And the result was I couldn't really do anything, but I did set him up with resources and set an expectation so that while he was waiting, he would have an easier time of it in the future. I made sure that I was accountable for an outcome by managing the expectation and set things out clearly for him and the officers that will deal with the situation in the future by documenting the interaction for the next service officer he speaks to, so everyone knows exactly where things are at. Yeah.